Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of How Did This Get Booked? I, of course, am your host, Jake Manning. I'm a veteran of the professional wrestling business for over a decade, and I've held every single job except selling popcorn. I'm joined, as always, as a once friend, now a traitor, a competitor in the podcasting world.
I've jumped ships, now on two ships.
A man that all of a sudden is like, hey, I know how to work podcasting equipment. A man who's just like, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and do my own thing now.
Which, if we need to talk about how much we're paying this motherfucker, or you're paying this motherfucker to do our podcast, because that's just real easy.
Oh, it is real easy, but if you only knew the work that would go into a 10 Bell podcast.
Oh, no, you can go fuck yourself. And that's your boat that you jumped off our boat.
So I'm the original trader.
Yeah.
I'm the original trader.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you have...
we
have a boat together.
Yes.
And then we both were like, in the middle of the night, I'm going to leave this motherfucker on this boat and jump on my new boat. And then, now there's just our boat in the middle, just kind of aimlessly going through the sea. And we're both on different things. Okay. You've got way more crew than I do. I've just got me.
Okay, so what you're saying is I was the one that said I love you and then pushed you down beneath below. Mm-hmm. Okay, it wasn't the other way around.
Yeah, no. You kept the diamond, and then I just you would let me on the door or the table that kept you afloat in the ice cold water. And, on my way down, I found another table.
Okay.
And we floated back up.
There we go. And we've all come out better.
And now we've met each other in the middle. Like, the current has taken us together.
Which is super awkward.
Yeah.
And then there's a Chicago song playing in the background.
So now we just pretty much have to continue to do this podcast just because we're stuck at sea for so long.
In the background, like, everybody needs a little time away.
but somehow we keep managing it together.
Just coming all back around.
By the way, I'm Zane Riley. How you doing?
Longest intro of all time.
Which if they are hearing this now, they have no clue what we're talking about because we're doing 2 podcasts right now. We're doing two episodes of how did this get booked today. So I'm not sure if this comes second in the 2 or if this is first of the 2, because if that's the case...
No, this is second of the 2.
Okay, so then they will know what we're talking about.
They will know exactly what we're talking about.
Fantastic.
Yes, so, but we're also references 10 Bell Pod and referencing the fact that you have another podcast.
Which we will get to.
We will get to, but, we might as well plug our other projects
Yep.
On the flagship... program, which is How Did This Get Booked? And it's just me and Zane. We don't have an uncomfortable guest sitting here right now.
They just had to sit through all of that?
Yes, they had to sit through that wonderful tryst, so we were...
What the fuck are you guys talking about? I watched Shitty Wrestling for you, and you're going to talk about this bullshit?
Oh, no, that's the episode that we're recording next, which will come before this, it's all kinds of messed up.
It's like a prequel to this.
Yes.
That we recorded after.
Mm-hmm. Right now, we are Doc Browning it today. But so we are discussing something, pro wrestling in the mainstream media. That's why it's just me and Zane, because that's how we do it. That's how we like to do it. We don't like dragging people down and making them watch some of this stuff and discuss it.
And, you're just thinking, well, you guys just did a Baywatch episode. Well, it's Halloween, so we had to keep in the theme.
Yes, we had to keep in the theme. So what we are discussing today is See No Evil, the movie starring Kane, which would basically exist because of Kane.
Yeah.
This is solely like...
Here you go, WWE money.
WWE money, WWE Studios are like, hey, let's make a monster movie. These cheap monster movies and scary movies, they seem to be profitable. Let's get into that market. And that's basically what it is. And
which I was thinking as I was watching... I was flipping through Netflix earlier. I watched this yesterday.
You watched this on Netflix?
No.
Because I had to pay for this.
I did too. I had to pay for it on YouTube, actually.
Okay, I paid for it on Voodoo.
Yeah, okay, Voodoo.
Yeah, I got an account on that.
I was flipping through Netflix and saw that Blade 2 was on, and remembered that I think Blade 3 had Triple H in it, which also reminded me of the movie The Chaperone that had Triple H in it, which means we're going to do that down the line. Oh, yeah. I think that was another Fed movie.
Yeah, we definitely got to... We definitely got to expand out in the WWE Studios universe.
Yeah. We'll just start. We'll take a month and we'll just do a series on it.
Exactly. So we can sit around and talk about it. And then we fully have ripped off How Did This Get Booked?
Oh, exactly.
Then it's like, how did this WWE Studios movie get booked?
Which, another side note, I was looking to see if we had a Twitter page.
No.
We don't. I know. I found that out. But I I
Are we
searched.
supposed to? Are we supposed to?
Nah, fuck, who cares?
Yeah, I don't think
We're
so.
doing good enough with just
I just want people to pay attention to at Man Scout Man.
That's all we need. That's
not
fine. That's
I
cool.
am Zane Riley or not extra talented podcast.
None of that.
None of that. Only
Don't need
at
that.
Man Scout Man.
And that's fine by me. And that's great. So I searched, like, when I first found out we didn't have one, I was like, wait a minute, is that right? So I searched, how did this get booked, as just a sentence? Mm-hmm. And it came back with some of our stuff. But a couple down was someone talking to Paul Scheer about All In. Okay. And I guess he had made a comment that had been since deleted. But the guy said, so when are you going to start a How Did This Get Booked, Paul Scheer?
Fuck you.
And my reply was, thanks for tuning in, big guy. It's been out for 2 years.
Yes. And I can't afford for people who are on television to steal more of my shit. I just can't afford it anymore. I just can't. Yeah. I'm losing bookings as it is. Yeah. It's dire straits. As much as I say on this podcast, the Man Scout moves the needle, nobody's paying attention.
Not at all.
So
only moves the needle here.
I'm only booked, I don't know, 25 days out of a month every month.
Yeah.
But it's not enough for me.
Yeah, but and not all of it's wrestling.
Listen, I've got a big hole in my life I have to fill. Okay, yeah. And I'm filling it in.
And I don't know where we stand by this time. Is the hole completely empty right now?
Oh, the hole is completely empty right now.
By this...
We're 3 days away from the hole being empty.
Okay. So we're cementing out the pool.
Oh, yes.
To fill it with water that is the emptiness of more pro wrestling.
Exactly.
And comedy.
Mm-hmm. I've turned the pool now into a basketball.
There you go. I filled it in.
Yeah, I filled it in. I put it with a basketball hoop.
We paved over Paradise and put in the parking lot.
Exactly. Very prophetic.
Yeah, it's some great poet said that. I believe it was Liz Phair. Or whoever originally did that. I think it was an older song, but I think Liz Phair covered it. Okay. Anywho, no, Liz Phair did it. The Counting Crows covered it. There we go.
Well, this has been your Little Fair program.
So
I know you said Liz Fair, but I said Little Fair, and I came back around.
There you go. Welcome to the podcast within the podcast. I've been trying to figure out what my next podcast is going to be. It's random bullshit rants on little bits of music.
Listen,
so there we go.
I'm just waiting for that alpha brain to kick in before we get into a discussion about the topic of discussion, which is See No Evil, which is a movie that was released May 19th of 2006. The estimated budget for the movie was $8 million.
What?
$8 million. Hey, that's a low budget in Hollywood standards,
I guess.
And also compared to maybe not. So I think that's roughly about what No Holds Barred was made for. I think No Holds Barred maybe have been made for $4 million.
Okay.
I don't know. I've heard passing information over the years, but See No Evil made $4.5 million opening weekend and grossed in the U.S. $15 million, $18 million total.
Well, so they made their money back.
They made their money back.
$10 million.
Vince McMahon super fucking happy about it. The movie was filmed in Australia, and actually a lot of the actors that you see in this movie were Australian actors. I don't know why. I guess it's super fucking cheap to record, to film in Australia. Because this might have been recorded on video.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Just straight to VHS,
yeah,
literally.
Straight to VHS.
They had 2 VCRs just editing it together.
Mm-hmm. Which may explain why it got 8% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I think this whole movie explains why that happened.
Oh, yeah. And also, too, it's a WWE Studios production, which is distributed by Lionsgate. The tagline for the movie is, this summer, someone is raising Kane.
Whoa. I hope that guy got paid lots. I hope that guy got paid the most money.
I hope that guy got one of the $8 million that was distributed.
I hope he made more than Kane did. Just for going with that line.
I hope so. Well, and actually, Kane was super happy to film this movie, and this is a very sad comment.
Oh.
He said the best thing about this movie was being able to sleep in the same bed for 2 months straight.
If you ever seen a one-trick pony?
Not that like, I'm in a movie or I've always been a big monster movie fan. I was like, no, just the fact that I could just be in the same place for 2 months. Like I kind of live that life now, and that's sad to me.
Yeah. Does it say, I don't really remember the time as far as what was happening in WWE. What was their explanation of him being off TVs? Do you know?
Oh, good question. I think he probably got burned. I don't know. That's what they always did with Kane.
He's on fire.
He's on fire.
Even though he was born afire.
Yeah, I should have done more research into that. I was. Let's be honest. There's about 20, 30 minutes of this movie that I watched while I was folding laundry.
There you go.
And that's about half the movie.
This is only like an hour and 20 minutes long.
Oh, hour 23, my friend.
Oh, there we go. And so any movie under an hour and a half is the shits anyway.
Oh, gosh, that makes us so happy.
Yeah.
Especially when we have to watch 3.5 hour pay-per-views.
We had so much left.
Kane actually legit scared some of his female co-stars. Actually, when he met the cast, the director asked him to sit down when meeting them because one of the female co-stars came up to his chest, which was, I thought, an interesting piece of information. Also, too, Kane's character was supposed to have no eyelids.
That would have been weird. How do you do that? You had to give him fake eyes?
I don't even want to know the logistics.
He was like, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and that's a little scary to me because as some people may or may not know, I have a bit of an eye phobia.
So this movie was real fucked up for you.
Oh, yeah. That's why I was like, I'm going to fold laundry while this scene happens.
Laundry.
Yeah, because, that's why I was never able to wear contacts.
Oh, okay.
Because I just sticking my finger in my eye or seeing it. I don't know why. I don't know why I've always had an eye phobia. Like when I had glasses, it was comforting because I always had that shield against the world.
Yeah.
And then when I decided to get LASIK, best money ever spent, worst experience of my entire life.
Because it's all laser in the eye.
Yes, and you can smell burning flesh while that's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden there was a moment where I was like, oh, that's my eye right now. And imagine having an eye phobia on top of that.
Yeah.
And then on top of not being able to see after that. So yeah, this movie brought up some feelings. I was already in my feelings when I was watching this. And then you top that on. I've had a weird day coming out of this recording. So
all right.
Listening to Chicago. Once again, I'm just using that energy right now and putting out for some awesome podcasting. Also too, Kane did his own stunts. That's another piece of information that I put out there. But I want to run over some notable people in the cast, and I want you to see. Maybe I can do this in a sense. Maybe you can see a trend forming.
Okay.
Corey Robinson, who played Blaine, I think it was one of the police officer that died very early. He was in The Marine.
Okay.
Luke Pegrel. Sorry if I messed up your name. He played Michael.
Fuck him.
Was in The Condemned.
This is all people that were in WWE movies, isn't it?
I'm not.
Okay. All right.
Then you had Ty, Michael Pagel. There's another P. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Australian names are tough.
Yeah.
So
they're not listening. They won't care.
Okay.
And you guys aren't going to look this up anyway, so.
No. Ty was in Gridiron Gang with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Oh.
And Christina Vidal. She played Christine in the movie. She was the little girl from Life with Mikey, which has a wrestling scene with Jerry the King Lawler, who's in a mask holding up this young girl.
So just they got these people because they're used to working with wrestlers.
Exactly. There's a through line through a lot of this that I found fascinating. That I can only imagine by about the second or third day of filming, which it only took 32 days to film this movie.
What do they do with the other 30 days?
That's a good question. But I can imagine after the second or third day of filming this movie, having every actor in this movie come up to Kane and them going, oh, well, I did a movie with Jerry the King Lawler, or, I did The Condemned with Steve Austin. I can imagine Glenn James is just like, fuck off. I know what the fuck you did, all right?
It's cool. You did movies with better wrestlers than me. Suck your whole dick.
I get it. I know I'm the second or third wrestler you've worked with. Fucking get over it, or else I'm going to legitimately kill all of you right now.
I will stick my thumb in your eye.
Which all the hook.
Which Kane killed a man in this movie.
Yes, a lot of men actually, and women. But that hook that he uses a lot, that was all supposed to be CGI'd. But apparently, old Glenbow is pretty good with the hook. So they're like...
I was going to make a joke about him being good with the hook, but it turns out it wouldn't have been a joke.
No, he's actually very good at it. And they're like, no, he's really good at it. Let's just have him do this in practical magic works. So...
They got to save all their CGI money for the end when he gets that thing in the eye.
Yeah, that's the mayor of Knoxville County. He's very good with a
hook.
Good with a hook and a chain, ladies and gentlemen. And he's going to do that to your taxes.
I was about to say, I feel, there it is.
Give me $1 million for taglines.
You guys are losing money left and right at WWE Studios by not having Jake Manning there.
But they did have a competent writer, Dan Madigan, who had written on SmackDown.
No.
So he's the one that wrote this movie. I saw somewhere in the research that said this was a remake, but I don't think it's really a remake because I was reading the plot of an original version of See No Evil. It doesn't really match up.
Yeah.
It just has the same title. I think it's one of those online things that people are like, oh, it's a remake. When really it's not.
It's not. It's just another movie with the same name.
That was something that was in Wikipedia, but not IMDb. So I'm going to lean more towards IMDb.
Yeah.
The director of this movie was Gregory Dark, I believe his name is. I scribbled it real fast. I was probably folding laundry then.
You know, some odd shit was going down.
He is best known for directing porn sequels.
I was about to say, there's not enough porn going on in this. What's up?
And also,
wait, just the sequels?
Just the sequels. I think it's like Mrs. Jones in something or something in Mrs. Jones, which I was watching something on Showtime, like the best like porn movies of all time. So one of them was something in Mrs. Jones.
Yeah.
And he did like something in Mrs. Jones 4, 5, and 6.
I'm not really good with original content, but boy, you give me something to run with, I can write you a fucking sequel.
Well, and also, too, he was a music video director, which a lot of music video directors went on to be actual directors because they know how to get something in on a budget and shoot very fast. So
and they don't mind weird smells on set.
I'm sure Vince McMahon was like, oh, give me this guy that works hard and fast, you know, and cheap.
Bring one of the women with you.
Oh, yeah, pal. Just some notable music videos that Gregory directed. Linkin Park's One Step Closer, Orgy's Blue Monday, Sublime's Wrong Way, and probably his most famous one, Cherry Poppin' Daddy's Zoot Suit Riot.
You're fucking right. You're fucking right. Fuck yeah.
The guy that directed Zoot Suit Riot directed See No Evil, ladies and gentlemen.
I believe it, and I'm for it. I was a huge Swing fan in that resurgence back then. The 2 months that it was cool again.
I was this close, and I was of age to be going to prom about that time, and I almost got a Zoot Suit.
Totally did.
Oh, you
I
son of
totally
a bitch!
fucking
You
did.
son of a bitch!
Totally
I knew it.
Fucking did.
I knew you were one of those guys.
Yep, I was, brother. Long chain and everything. Real big piece of shit. Actually, no. I still stand beside that idea.
Oh my god!
I wish that shit would make a comeback right now. Me and the squirrel nut zippers are gonna be riding a limo, taking girls to proms.
Oh, that's why.
Sounded a lot better in my head than coming out right then. Go ahead and retract that one. I'll show you how to edit shit real fast so we can get rid of that.
Yeah, put that on a YouTube comment. We know how good accurate they are.
There you go. Like, see, I told you.
Oh, I knew. That makes me so goddamn happy. I specifically wrote that on a piece of paper. I'm like, God, please tell me that Zane had a Zoot Suit.
Oh, fuck right, I did.
In high school.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this is the happiest day of my life.
Rented that shit at the mall.
We're not recording our other 5 podcasts today, by the way.
We're just going to talk about this. Actually, this whole podcast is just going to be about Zoot Suits, guys. So you go watch See No Evil and make your own fucking assumptions. Joke with yourselves.
Oh. But yeah, this movie, I got to say, I don't mind it.
Nah, man, it wasn't that bad.
No, it wasn't that bad of a movie, and it's short.
Yeah.
And it moves very quickly.
I've watched far worse horror movies.
Oh, yeah.
And they get to the fucking point pretty fast.
Yeah. Like, they really get to what this whole thing... Like, basically, it's... This guy shoots...
Yeah, let's just get into it. I mean,
yeah. No, I was going to...
Okay, cool. That was a seg.
That was a seg.
Okay.
That was a seg. And we got on it. Yeah. Basically, this movie is just about, this police officer that answered a call. Mm-hmm. His partner got killed by Kane. I'm just going to call him Kane, not his character name.
I don't remember what that was.
Because this whole movie was just made for Kane.
Yeah.
That's in my notes. Like, this whole project was just to put Kane as a monster.
Do you know what in order of WWE Studio films this was? I think was Marine the first one, or?
Oh no, I think this is pretty early, but I don't think it was one of the earliest.
Okay, I can't remember what the first one was.
I think
but anyway, this would have been early on.
I think this is one of the ones where they're like, because I know there were ones that came out that they were like, oh, we have big hopes and we're gonna really be making blockbuster movies.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they're like, oh no, we're not.
Yeah. And we're going to be making maybe $10 million on a movie.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what they were thinking, like, we're going to go low budget. That's why we're going to go horror. So I think it was like in the first third or 25 or whatever of the WWE Studios catalog. It was very early, for sure that. But anyways, a police officer gets called to a really fucked up scene. His partner dies. He loses a hand, but he ends up shooting Kane and running off. And then he goes on to start a program where he takes kids out of juvenile detention center and has them do community service to take time off of their sentence. Which I don't know a lot about juvenile delinquents detention centers, but aren't they allowed to have? Are they allowed to have regular street clothes on? Like,
first off, none of these guys look like they were of juvenile age.
Well,
some of these people are pushing 30.
That's the obvious thing. But listen, if Ian Ziering can play in high school when he's 30, that's more power to everyone.
True on that.
Yeah. So you're just trying, but yeah, I don't. Like, and they have phones and earbuds. I'm very confused.
And drugs?
Yeah, and you could just have... This is the worst detention center of all time.
Yeah.
Like, you're definitely not helping anybody at all. You're not rehabilitating anybody because our system isn't set up to do that anymore.
Oh, no.
But at the same time, too, you're barely detaining these people from having just a regular-ass fucking life. You're just protecting, society from these awful people, and you're just putting them together.
It would seem as if the Marine and See No Evil were the first. Well, no, because so I'm looking back. Oh, Kane was also in See No Evil 2.
Yeah, they
okay. I knew they made it 2. I didn't know it was him.
Yep.
But they're also saying No Holds Barred was under that 1989.
Yeah.
But then there's a lot of movies on here that I'm just like, I don't think you guys did that movie.
Well, they did a lot. I think this was one of the ones where they're like, okay, we're not going to be a big blockbuster thing, but we can get distribution. We have this production company that's already set up.
Yeah. Like Walking Tall. I don't think they did that one, but it's in this list.
Yes, I think that's probably related or something like that.
Probably. Anyway. No point. All right, so back to it.
You know how you see a movie and you'll see the Bad Robot production.
Yeah.
And you'll see 8 different studios and production companies and stuff like that. So WWE Studios, they're just slapping themselves on something else and smaller things.
So back to this non-rehabilitating rehabilitation center.
Yeah, and let's run over some of the crimes.
So first off, they wouldn't put them intergenderly on a bus like that either.
Yeah, this is all this doesn't look like a detention center at all. It's just very odd. Shouldn't they be in the orange jumpsuits?
Yeah, those are a chain gang looking motherfuckers.
Yeah, put your regular clothes on that you wear here. Mm-hmm. It's weird.
Yeah,
all that's weird, and the parameters of that, and I'm sure in Australia they don't know what that looks like. So good night, mate.
I mean, at one point wasn't all of Australia prison? So,
touche.
Yeah.
We just solved it. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
They don't.
This is actually just a reflection piece on his past. This is a history movie.
No wonder why. Since this was filmed in Australia, they don't know what detention centers look like because the entire country was a detention center. Yep. No wonder why what's going on behind bars is the same as out because that's basically Australia.
We're not going to top that, so we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Just nothing but peaks on today. No valleys today.
Not at all.
Peaks.
All on the way up.
And also, too, they run over the crimes of all of these youths.
But, none of them come back. I think Black Dudes might have came back because he's able to pick locks and stuff.
No. We'll get to a couple of people circle back around.
Do they? Okay. Because I didn't notice, some of them didn't. And I was like, this is just, why?
I know one for sure, and we're going to get into it. It's a crazy fucking point.
All right, let's listen to some of these.
But, they put up each one of their crimes... sporadically.
Yeah.
It seems like they put up 2, and then they're like, let's do about 5 more minutes.
Yeah.
And then we'll put up another one. And then we'll do about 8 more minutes, and we'll put up another one.
Yeah.
I was waiting for halfway through for somebody going, aggravated assault.
Murder.
Yeah. But
every time he does a new kill, Kane, 2 murders.
Aggravated assault.
Yeah. Which exposing himself to a woman.
Most of my hard work in hitting pause was going over everybody's crimes, which was Christina's aggravated assault, Zoe shoplifting, Russell Wolf receiving stolen property, which is funny because he was getting the drugs passed it back to him. Mm-hmm. Richie computer fraud, Michael possession with intent to sell, assault and battery. Kira possession with intent to sell. She was the one that was with Michael and ended up getting locked up with him because of him. Ty, breaking and entering, and possession. They just threw possession in there. You could just had breaking and entering because you just wanted to get over that he could pick locks because he does it 2 or 3 times in this movie.
And he turns down the drugs, so like, what is the point of that?
But he couldn't unpick the cage lock at the end.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was first off with the fucking tools he's using. He could have done that with just the doors.
Yeah.
He was using 2 bobby pins.
Yeah. So
and like the blunt ends, not like the curved ends, not even like the small little stick ends. Not that I know how that fucking shit works, but I would just assume that the larger part's not going to fit in there so well.
Yeah, so just let everybody know you work for an apartment complex and you need to know how to pick locks.
Yeah, I don't even know how.
Yeah. Melissa was breaking and entering and reckless endangerment, mostly because she was releasing dogs from a pound or a research
She was a
facility.
fucking hippie.
Yeah, she was a hippie and she was doing her time. Mm-hmm. She's old Hanaway Jane locked up.
Just doing her bid for the man.
Yeah. But they go to the Blackwell Hotel where they will do 3 days worth of work for 1 month reduction of sentence, which they do more laying around and hanging out and exploring than any work at all.
Well, I mean, this happens like on just day 1, right? Like if they don't make it the 3 days, shit goes awry almost immediately.
Which I'm very happy for the pacing of this movie.
Yeah, I don't want to wait around 3 days. That'd have been like an hour 45, and I don't have that kind of time for this movie.
I was waiting for like the stalking scenes to go like a little bit more intense because they were like setting up all these things like, oh, is that something? Oh, is there somebody looking? Oh, is there, they do that for literally like all of 2 minutes and like, nah, let's get into the straight up murdering of people.
Fucking let's kill these kids.
Yes, and that's, that's basically where we're at. And could have used some people to actually be wanting to see die, you know? Like, but at the same time too, I guess we're trying to be sympathetic and honor these. I don't know.
Lives. The motherfucker that I wanted dead the most made it, and I was real upset about it.
Who would that be?
Michael.
Here's a funny piece of information that I found in IMDb. Michael's character was supposed to be a neo-Nazi.
Really?
In an original draft, that's what he was supposed to be.
And he was supposed to make it? We were supposed to be behind him? Because first off, they already talk about how he used to pimp old girl out.
Yes.
And they didn't even make his record. Like, just pimping her out didn't do shit. Yep. And then he would beat her, which maybe that's assault and battery, but he would do it a lot, according to them. And he chokes the bitch up here halfway through the movie. But this motherfucker gets to make it and have his last moment be like, I decided I didn't want to leave alone. Fuck you. You should have died first.
No wonder why Kira ended up sticking with him as long as she did. Because he would do something redeeming like that when he's just a fucking monster.
He's
Get
an
away
awful
from the
person.
Man.
Yeah. He's trying to live also.
Yeah.
He didn't save the day. He just made it. Fuck him. He didn't need to.
Which is, it would have been so weird if he was a neo-Nazi. And also then you got to deal with the fact that, like, Glenn Jacobs, the mayor of Knox County, is a Republican, and what we think about Republicans, even though I'm sure he's a little bit different than most Republicans, but then you take in the fact, like, wouldn't it be interesting now in a socio-political thing, what if Michael wasn't a neo-Nazi, but he was alt-right, and the idea of Republican mayor, and, like, does he work with him, or where's that internal struggle? Where does this movie turn into political satire? When does this become Animal Farm?
Right about now.
Right about now? Okay, all right.
Right about now, 12 years after the fact when we talked about it.
Okay, I need to stop checking Twitter and seeing how the Supreme Court nominations are going and feel real weird about it.
Speaking of, at this time, like hours ago, Connie Chung came out talking about how she was sexually assaulted. Now she's on like Team Ford, or always was, I'm sure, but is now backing her up, which fucking A, good for her. Fuck that Kavanaugh motherfucker. I've made this political podcast. That's from my other podcast.
Yes.
Zane Talks Politics. Drunk Politics with Zane Riley.
Crossfire.
It's just basically just going, fuck you, Trump, the whole time.
I guess that's probably where my lens was looking at right now. Is putting a political spin on this, because we do have the mayor of Knox County murdering motherfuckers with a hook. But he starts with, being a peeping Tom, and what does he do? Who's the first person that dies? Hook death. Actually, no, he just kidnaps a bunch of motherfuckers first.
He takes Seth,
the computer fraud kid.
Yeah, and Richie. And Kira or whatever, the girl, the main girl.
Yes.
The one with the religious tattoos.
And then you bring it back around to the Republican Party and how the Christian right has taken it over, and how it's got such a stranglehold, but yet mayor Glenn Jacobs fights the urge of the hatred of the Christian right at the end and puts a spike through its head.
Yep, just throws it right on the spike. But like before I even knew like they tell you why like he has a fascination with this girl here, and we'll get to it when we get to it. Mm-hmm. But the entire time like this dumb bitch has a shit ton of cross tattoos for some reason. Like she has a big back piece, she has one on her right arm, she's wearing cross necklaces, and she has an angel on the left arm. I was like, man, why'd you waste all this skin for just the same fucking tattoo over and over?
It might have been.
But we get to see her butt, so I mean there was that.
They definitely squeezed that in there for sure.
Can't be a horror movie without a shower scene.
Also, too, I don't know if you'll know this or not, and I barely know this as well, but she is actually the daughter of, I believe his name is John Noble. Mm-hmm. He's from the Lord of the Rings series. Oh, cool. And he's the weird guy from Fringe.
All right.
You know, the guy that talks like the tractor anus. That guy. You know, like he's that guy.
Okay.
That's her father.
Oh, sweet.
And since he's an famous Australian actor, she obviously get in.
Got the spot.
Get a little bit of the rub. You know, it's kind of one of those things.
We'll give you a little bit of the rub, but you got to show your butt some.
I guess. So, which, I'm not mad at it.
Nah, I mean, one of the... I'm not going to say the highlight of the movie, but I mean, it wasn't the low light.
I mean, go Hawks.
Yeah, right.
If Conrad Thompson can say roll tide
all the time, go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
Yeah.
That's going to be my saying on this podcast.
Is that going to be our new...
That's my new thing. When a girl looks super attractive and I don't know what to say about it, I'm just saying go Hawks.
Go Hawks. Roll tide on that.
Go Hawks.
Yeah. I need to figure out a team so I could, have a saying also.
You can say go Cyclones.
Okay, I don't know what that team is. Let's do it. Go Cyclones.
It's Iowa State.
Go Clones.
It's Iowa State.
Okay.
So just keep it all Iowa.
Whatever you say, then I'll throw it in there.
Or you can be the Fighting Illini.
Go Hawks. I'll go Clones.
Yeah, or Fighting Illini.
I won't even remember how to say that word. So okay. Go Clones.
I'm just rattling down.
Just Iowa.
That Illini would be Illinois. I'm just rattling off teams in the Big Ten.
Gotcha.
Go Buckeyes.
Go Buckeyes. O-H. Oh,
4K.
Yo, get out of here. Sammy Callahan, you're not booking this show.
No, he's not.
So back to this girl's butt and peeping Tom, and then Mike breaks to the door.
I was more going to go with a segue that sounded like, speaking of Sammy Callahan, we see a dead hobo.
Especially with that new shaved head of his.
I was mostly meaning that he murdered a hobo.
Yeah, whatever.
I wouldn't put it past him.
Nah, he looks like one.
Let's go ahead and commit slander on this podcast.
Yeah.
So,
he's your buddy. He'll be all right.
Yeah, he's all right.
Yeah, he didn't listen.
It's okay. He'll probably be one of my many shows that I'll have. Yeah. Dead hobo with no eyes that causes Richie to run away.
Because they're looking for a safe. They're looking for all this money.
Yes, they're looking for all that money because supposedly there was a shitload of money, which we found out does exist. Mm-hmm. Then the social worker that's there, she's got an engagement ring on her right hand.
Yeah.
The Officer Williams makes a note of it.
And we have this love talk here for a moment.
And as soon as she switches over the left hand, she is immediately fucking murdered.
Yep. Gets beat the shit out of in an elevator.
Yes. and that's where we go. I skipped over a whole page of notes there for a second.
They won't notice.
Which isn't a whole lot. It's just segmenting off here.
It's just more conspiracy theories about Glenn Jacobs and the alt-right.
We get there's like a 10-second spot there where Williams, Christina, and Tyle get together, and that's when Officer Williams just basically dumps the entire plot of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Where he's like, I know
they're smoking a cigarette, and he like finds them.
No. This was they're all together, and he goes, I shot him earlier.
I see. I saw a hole in the back of his head.
Got a hole in the back of his head. I shot him. I thought he was dead. Yada yada yada. He gives the entire exposition of the movie, and then 10 seconds later, he's dead.
Yeah, with a hook squarely to the throat and jaw.
Mm-hmm. And we introduce this gun, which is a major plot point of the whole thing. Yeah. But also too, from what I read in my research, an original draft, Officer Williams was supposed to make it to the end. He was supposed to be heroic.
I thought he was going to be. Like, he didn't deserve to go out that early.
They felt if they did that, it would be more surprised that anybody could die at a moment in time. So they felt like if they killed him off very quickly.
Yeah, I can see that.
That
makes sense.
That's how you get it. That's how you build a heel.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of that. I don't know whose thought process was on that, but I think
it's
it was
okay for Michael to make it.
Yeah.
Fucking shit.
I think it was okay. We get into more of a discussion of the cross tattoos. Then we get Russell.
Where the first girl had all the religious symbols, and that's why he kept her alive.
Yes. Yeah, and that was another thing, too, that they just dump on there, too, all of a sudden. Like
But took her eyes, though.
Yes.
But never tries to take other girl's eyes. Just keeps her in a cage.
Yeah, that is a weird question. I think he was going to take
arguably at some point, but I think he fell in love with her more than the girl before.
Maybe because she had more cross tattoos?
Maybe.
Is that how that works?
I would assume so.
Yeah, I think that would be the explanation for that. But then all of a sudden, Russell and Melissa are starting having sex.
Like you do.
Also, too, there's the room where he's at, where you're getting more of an explanation of his fucked up fucking childhood, which, by the way, was Psycho the one that started this trend that mothers are making killers?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a trope.
Oh, yeah.
And they lean in hard on this fucking movie. As far as, wash your eyes out with wash your eye... Open your eyes and wash the sins out, I believe is the line. But yeah, a crazy mother that creates a killer is
put him in a cage and like kept him with porn. Like, did she supply the porn or did he have the porn and then she threw him in the cage for the porn?
He had it. She was showing. It was like, this is the sin. Look at the sin. And then he's like, what are you doing with your penis? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, that was a real creepy there too. But a little tit for tat. If we're gonna see a woman's butt, go Hawks.
Yeah,
might as well see a dude's
Clones.
dick.
Well, might as well.
Go Cyclones.
Go Hogs.
Go Golden Gophers.
Go that team that you said was also in the Big Ten.
Go Buckeyes.
Go Buckeyes. OHIO. We're killers.
Fighting Illini. Also, too, like, there's a lot of dead bodies around, and we see a lot of...
Just hanging out.
We see a lot of bugs, and I feel like if you want to cut down on that bug problem, you got to get rid of those dead bodies.
Yeah.
Like, you're never going to clean that hotel up fully.
Well, I mean, we come to find out that really wasn't the case for them to be there anyway. The whole point was that she brought those kids there for him.
Oh, yeah. It's true. Yeah. Oh, by the way, we're going to give away the end of this movie.
Yeah, sorry.
So far, we've given up half of the movie, which is basically an hour and 22 minutes of this movie. We're about ready to give away the last minute of this movie. So just to let you know, spoilers galore on this one, if you didn't know, obviously, for obvious reasons, if you didn't already know, because there's a big thing that's coming up very soon. Anyways, a bell rings as soon as the two people are fucking on the bed. Like, he's got this elaborate system of bells set up, especially on a bed.
It's like room service bells. So he just moved the wires.
Okay, but you move the wires to a bed that nobody is sleeping on.
Hey, you just guessing? You're like, this looks like a bed.
In a room they're not supposed to be in, by the way, because the old lady's like, oh, don't go in the penthouse. But yet it's rigged to let people know when they're fucking in the penthouse. Because
again, like, that's part like, oh, they're going to go to the fucking penthouse.
Oh, okay. So,
yeah, like, don't go there. Don't hit this big red button that says do not push.
Okay. It's one of those. So that was something that was set up.
Yeah. All of this is set up.
All of this is set up. Yeah. But yeah, I just felt like, I was like, I have OCD and I'm not even that crazy. to rig up something, an elaborate bell system in a room that people aren't allowed to go in. But I guess if you're told not to go in, you're going to go in.
Yeah.
All right. Then we get where Melissa is being lowered down in the fire hose thing. Die Hard. And then she gets pulled back up.
Right back up because her buddy got killed.
And clearly all of this is done in a soundstage. Very clearly. And then she's asked to be let go. And then let go, and then fell through the glass, and she has a glass stuck through her arm.
Yeah.
And she's bleeding. And this dog who we saw earlier, which pulls at Melissa's heartstrings because, like I said, she released all these dogs so they wouldn't get killed. The dog starts licking the blood and then barks for more dogs, and they come and they fucking eat her.
Because dogs are a shit animal.
And you shouldn't have fucking rescued them. Like, that's like...
This is what you get. Welcome to fucking irony, lady.
And wouldn't it be funny if the dogs that she released, they're like, hey, go be free, roam the streets. What if these were those same dogs that she saved?
Yeah, that really needed to be, like, brought back in.
Like, if she would have recognized one of the dogs, hey, that's one of the dogs that I saved.
Yeah, saved your life.
Like, that would have been far better.
Then we have an offshoot movie where it's just vicious dogs like piranhas going around the streets killing kids.
Yeah. That would be next up. That was probably the spinoff that we were looking for in this whole situation.
But no, we got See No Evil 2.
Nope. We also get Zoe on her cell phone because this is the worst detention center program ever. You're allowed to have cell phones the whole fucking time.
Snuck that out in her butt, in her prison wallet.
That's okay. Well, she got it shoved down her fucking throat.
Which I think, and I've never been put in this situation, that if I am running for my life and I have a cell phone upon me, I'm going to make sure that fucking ringer's off.
Well, did that era of cell phones have shut the ringer off?
I'm pretty sure you turn the volume up or down on it.
I don't know.
If anybody has one of those Nokia flip phones, let us know.
I think you had to go in like the menu. And that's a whole process.
She kept it around for a long time. I just would have been like, fuck this phone.
Once she's hiding in a closet, she's got to keep it dark. Or else it's going to light. Those old Nokias would just light up everything.
She might be there for a while. She's got to play the snake game.
Yeah, she'd have to get into the menus, select, go over. And she would have to be like Matt Damon in The Departed and be able to do it in her pocket.
Gotcha.
If she wanted to properly turn it down.
All right. Or just turn it straight the fuck off.
Yeah, take the battery out.
Yeah, something.
But then she might lose her contacts. I don't know. It's been a long time since I've had I've got one in my kitchen drawer.
Yeah, so my phone right now is it could basically just is a computer. So.
And also too, shoving it down her throat, can you just swallow that, or how big?
No, that was some force to get that phone down there.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
All right, that would tear the shell.
Yeah, thing, man, you can choke on a hot dog.
That's true too.
So
I mean, if we've learned anything from Field of Dreams, you can almost die from choking on a hot dog.
Exactly.
At least that's what I picked up.
Yeah, that's the only thing to pick up from there.
No, exactly.
And then they'll come if you build it.
Baseball. It's the one
guys just coming everywhere.
This has turned into our favorite movie podcast, by the way. We'll talk about The Departed, Field of Dreams.
Very little about See No Evil.
Oh, very little about So. Well, we're about
done. We're going to fill up some time.
We have 30 more seconds of this movie to discuss.
Good thing we have we did that whole discussion so vaguely about podcasts at the beginning.
Yeah, it's just to pad the whole thing. We think that Michael dies, but he obviously doesn't die. Then we go into the room, and turns out there was money there.
Yeah.
And they had Jacob Goodnight had Kane. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I need to call him by his Vince McMahon given name.
By his God-given name? Kane.
Kane. And all the money is tacked up on the walls, which, by the way, I guess every one of those dollar bills had the eyes scratched out.
No, you don't really see that.
You don't really see that, but supposedly that was something that was specifically done.
Yeah.
So
nice. And I'd hate to be the guy that had to scratch out all those eyes.
Yeah, or maybe they did a machine, they got a bunch of them. And
it's a bunch of fake money. I would hope. No, I doubt they did that to real.
Well, you can't have real money on video.
So they probably just printed it all out.
Yeah, they just printed it all out and then chopped a bunch.
You can't in America. You probably can do that in Australia. They're weird people.
That's true too. That may be.
Which now makes me curious if those were they supposed to be dollar bills on that wall, or are they Australian monies? I don't know what Australian money is.
Yeah, was this supposed to be set in Australia?
Dodo quarters? I'm not sure. I don't.
Because there were a couple of things that it just didn't feel. It felt off, and it wasn't didn't feel like.
Well, it didn't feel like America because there wasn't enough tyranny going on.
Yeah, I mean that was the thing too. There was a weird vibe. So when I found out this was filmed in Australia, I'm like, yeah, I could see that.
Found the vibe.
Yeah, because it was Australians trying to be like, oh, let's pretend like we're Americans.
Yeah. Good day, y'all.
Yeah. Hey, what do you think about your Boston Red Sox? How they doing looking this year?
Go Hawks, yeah.
Those Colorado Rockies are really performing well in the scrimmage, right?
That ain't a knife. This is a not shit.
I mean, this is a baseball bat, right?
Yeah.
That
ain't a bat. This is a bat.
This is a NFL
but it's
football.
Like a real bat.
This is an NFL football, not an Australian rules football. This is a Tom Rogers football, right?
Bud Light, American for beer.
Yeah, it just had a weird feel, the cop uniforms, which apparently I guess the bars are wrong. They said they were sergeants, but they had captain bar. There was a bunch of little things.
Yeah.
That they pointed out in the IMDb, which were
fuck you, IMDb.
Yeah, they were very nitpicky. I didn't.
That's what you're nitpicking about?
Oh yeah, there was a lot of nitpicky things about that. I think they were even nitpicking like the shots in the gun, or there was a couple things. I'm all right, this is ticky tacky.
Yeah.
Especially when I'm a James Bond fan, and
you just like to let everything go.
And they don't pay attention to anything. They just want to see how Daniel Craig looks in a suit.
Yeah.
All right, go out there, do it.
Get a big guy.
Yeah. So. We see Ty have his last stand. He gets hit with a taser to the throat and then is rammed to death by his safe, which...
Ironically enough, that's the safe they were looking for the whole time.
Exactly. So, like I said, these deaths kind of come back around for a couple of these people, like Ty and Melissa. She does because of the hands of the dog.
Paul's.
Zoe, because she's got her cell phone, and that's something very wrapped up, and she dies. Very pathetic deaths in the middle of this whole thing.
Put a lot of thought into those deaths.
Now, we're going to get to a point. Like I said, this is the big spoiler. This is what we didn't want to spoil earlier. Yeah. But if you're listening to this, you already know.
You probably figured it out, too, what we were saying.
I see.
Because we haven't talked about one character.
We haven't. And that's the thing, too, is you notice at the beginning there was the old lady that was there at the hotel.
Put all this together for
put all this together to bring these students in to clean the hotel, which... It needs a lot of goddamn help, and just cleaning that thing, it needs more than fucking cleaning.
She needs somebody to get all these goddamn bodies out of here.
Yeah, all kinds of things. Turns out that lady is
Kane.
Kane's. Why do I keep calling him by his?
Who the fuck is Jacob?
Who the fuck is Jacob Goodnight? Get the fuck out of here. Kane. Turns out it's Kane's mom, and she's been the crazy lady talking to him, and all these flashbacks, and she's been the one. And I'm gonna be honest, I didn't see it coming.
I really didn't either.
Okay, so you seem like the type that watched a lot of scary movies, so I wanted to get your vibe on it.
No, I didn't either. She completely slipped my mind when she goes to call the cops when they first start realizing that people are dying. When the cop sees a girl get chained up through the little dumbwaiter, and he tells her to run off and call the cops, I completely forgot about her.
Yeah.
So that was a real cool little like, oh, and by the way, here's my mom.
Yeah, I think it was real cool. But did Officer Williams say something before he died where he was like, she's not going to be able to call the cops?
Yeah, she might. I don't even know if she was able to call them. Why wouldn't she be able to call them?
Yeah, that's what I don't understand. So was Officer Williams in on it?
No, I think he just doesn't know if phone reception was... was phone reception ever an issue?
In Australia, yes.
Well, yeah, of course. This is Verizon. They don't even have Verizon over there.
Yeah, they don't have
I want to say they brought up cell phone reception being an issue here and there.
Uh-huh.
And that was him not knowing... I don't even know she could call them because there's no reception.
Okay.
Yeah. Which made it so weird that old girl's phone finally was able to ring, and that's what gave her away.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
I was a little clueless on that, and like I said, I wanted to know your feedback on the twist because I like the twist.
No, it was very good.
Which made me think like, oh, this is a far better movie.
Yeah. Like, some thought was put into this.
Yeah. Like
they didn't make a movie to make a movie.
Yeah, exactly. And which what you think with the WWE Studios thing, but when this happened and then the subversion of killing Officer Williams right away, I'm like, oh, there's some nice little twists.
Yeah.
It's fun. Kane does a fucking awesome job of being a fucking monster.
Yeah.
Like, surprise, a guy who's played a monster on TV for
a fucking decade.
Yeah. Almost a fucking decade at this moment in time, is very good, can do his own stunts, and obviously is really good with a hook and a fucking chain, surprisingly. Kind of dig the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
And then we start having some more weird flashbacks with a mom, and it turns out she was the one that ripped the eyes out of the girl, and I guess
expanded on the scene,
and then it comes back to the whole Christian right thing of like their attitudes towards underage sex and unwed sex, and it's so like the sin and ripping out eyeballs, and then you have this Republican mayor who's killing people, trying to avoid the corruption of sex out of wedlock and all of these things.
I'm gonna have to message Kayfabe News and be like, hey, you need to use these headlines when talking about the new mayor of Knox County.
Yes.
Mayor of Knox County kidnaps girl and kills 7.
This is Kane's...
including own mother and police officer.
This is Kane's torchbearer.
Yeah.
If you know what torchbearer is, which is Steve Bannon's movie that he came up with, which was like a right-wing political movie, much like, Michael Moore's Fahrenheit 9/11 and all that stuff. So, but yeah, this is Kane's torchbearer.
Yeah.
So... That's exactly what this is. So yeah, there's weird, and then we get to the point where like Kane's having a psychotic break. He kills the mom.
Yeah, cool.
Rejects the Christian right.
Yeah.
Which hopefully old Glenbow does the same in his political office.
He's not bought out by the NRA.
Yeah, obviously he doesn't involve any guns.
Nope.
But also too,
he takes a shot in the head and still is like, no, I don't want him.
Yeah, which that hole, it's got the magnets. Like,
yeah.
If that was 4 years ago, and you have maggots in your fucking brain. You wouldn't fucking live, would you?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. It's all kinds of why am I trying to debate the medical facts of this movie when there's obviously a See No Evil 2?
Yeah.
And he clearly dies a horrible fucking death.
Yeah, real bad.
But yet he's able to come back for See No Evil 2?
Yeah.
So what the fuck am I trying to do? Trying to justify...
Which his actual dying part, like him falling... Best part of the fucking movie.
And the most CGI, probably...
for sure.
That's at least $2 million of the budget right fucking there.
When he falls through the glass, it hooks on that metal beam and he basically does a flip. ripping it out of his eye was the best thing ever.
Oh yeah, that death, like they had
to get to that point, kills his mom. They think they have it taken care of. They throw him out the window. He grabs back onto old girl's hand, and then Michael starts beating his hand with a lead pipe. Mm-hmm. But on top of her hand, so her hand's getting fucked up too.
Yeah, that was shot very weirdly.
Yeah, and then he stabs her through the eyes. Mm-hmm. She stabs him through the eye, and he falls down.
Well, that's the thing too. Like, there's that twist. You think Michael's dead. He comes back. He saves the fucking day.
Still fuck him. Like, see, he's supposed to be redeemed, but I don't think he did it for the right reasons.
No, dear gosh, no. There wasn't that.
And it didn't make up for him pimping out this girl and beating the shit out of her.
For WWE Studios, you're very good at creating a heel, but you're not creating a good guy in any stretch of the imagination.
When Kane killed his mom, I felt he was more redeemed, and he just got done jerking off in front of that girl.
Yeah.
He just Louis C.K'd that lady, and I was like, well, I mean, it's a little bit more redeemable. You killed your mom. It was a psycho. It made you this way.
Yeah, exactly. There's more.
Michael's still a piece of shit when they leave this building.
Yeah, there's more. If Kane would have been like, killed his mom and be like, hey, guys, I'm sorry.
Yeah, oops.
Much more of a redemption story than this piece of shit Michael just being like, I didn't want to walk out alone. That's a selfish fucking need, you fucking asshole.
What if he had a friend? There's a wild pack of dogs running around here. I need him to get you guys before me.
But yeah, like the CGI fall, that's where all that money's on the screen.
Yeah.
That's at least $2 million.
Yeah.
So they did the right thing by doing that. And anything else before we get to the end? I want to get to the crazy credit scene here in a little bit.
I was like, did you not watch after the credits?
No. I did. Okay. We'll get it. We'll discuss it.
Okay. To that point, they just walk out and it's over?
Yeah. And
that's a good movie, man. Shit.
Yeah. Like,
you did it, WWE.
Yeah, I was pretty
better than some of your other movies you did.
Yeah, like I would recommend this over some of the other ones they put up for sure.
Oh yeah, hell, I'd recommend this over a good chunk of horror movies.
Oh yeah, because there was that time in the mid 2000s ish there, in the aughts, I believe is what they're referred to, where they would just crank out DVD release horror movies that were made for fucking cheap. I think even The Sopranos did a bit about that, like in their last season, where like. Michael Imperial, Christopher's character, was like, yeah, horror movies, you just do them real cheaply and you can make money off them. And that was his way to being a movie director.
Yeah.
And he had, like, Eric Roberts be a villain in his movie and stuff like that. And that was just like a thing, like, oh, yeah, the mob's going to finance this horror movie for basically nothing and then get everything in return. Because there's that time in there. But, yeah, I mean, I'll recommend this over a lot of other horror. Probably even some of the Halloweens that have come out.
Oh, of course.
So
all the remakes for sure.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. For sure. But, yeah. So they just walk out. That's the end. But let's get into this post-credits.
Man. Really, like, I thought it was going to be something like he just wasn't there anymore. This dog is the real hero of the movie.
Yeah. And in IMDb, they're like crazy post-credit scenes. Like, they made a special note. They made a special tab that doesn't exist on other pages. They're like, what the fuck was this?
Fucking justice. That's what it was.
Basically, Glimbos.
The pipe comes out of his eye.
He's got a hole in his head. He's dead there. Blood's everywhere. He's definitely got a head wound that's not going to exist 4 years from now.
Yeah.
He's probably not going to have a head 4 years from now. He's fucking deader than a fucking doornail. Hole in his fucking head and in his eye socket. And that dog that ate that girl comes walking by and pisses right in his eye hole.
Pisses in that ocular cavity. Wham.
Why?
Because.
Fucking why?
Because we got all these fucking dogs. They probably spent more money on dog handling than they did anything else in this movie. Like, we got this fucking dog. We better piss in this man's eye.
Like.
Or one guy was trying to get his ideas over the entire time. They're like, no, David, shut the fuck up. And he's like, come on, dude. Let that dog piss in his eye.
Like, Vince McMahon had to have loved.
Oh, yeah.
Loved that part.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, goddamn, he's pissing right in Kane's eye hole.
We need some comedy. Because if you've seen Camp WWE, you'll know that he's hands-on with how fucking asinine a scene can be.
Oh, yeah. So, but here's maybe a question that I have. Because the director really wanted Kane to kiss his mom before he killed her. So I'm wondering, and they wouldn't let him do that, but they would let a dog piss in Kane's eye hole. Was this a compromise situation here? It's either
there's a difference there's a difference between Waka Waka, that dog peed in that guy's eye, that dog pissed in the villain's eye, and hey, we're just showing some straight up incest right here.
Yeah, but like he's already got a weird, creepy relationship. She was pointing at his dick, like what's that?
Yeah, it did get real incesty right there in the middle. Like, what the fuck? And then like he's like rubbing his dick. I was like, this isn't WWE friendly.
Yeah,
this isn't even the Attitude Era anymore.
Oh yeah, like, this is just fucking weird at that point in time. But that was like one of the things the director really fucking wanted, and they're like, no,
sorry,
no. You know,
which I mean, that old lady, she's kind of cute. Like, you know, she deserved that kiss scene.
But it's weird, WWE Studios, where WWE product, where Vince McMahon's always like, oh, get in and kiss my daughter, God damn it. But like,
what if you married Stephanie?
But in our movies, no, please, no incest, no incest, please, none of that. It's disgusting. But you can piss in a dog's eye hole.
Yeah, get that dog pee in there though. Instead of that kiss, what if we just had the dog pee on him? Is that a trade out? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, I think this was a compromise. I feel like this was a discussion. Like, I can't have incest in my movie, but what I will let you do is have a dog piss in Kane's eye hole.
This Jack Russell Terrier piss in that man's eye hole.
Yeah, I will allow that.
Yeah. And they're like, sold. Cool.
Okay. All right, cool. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I can take that.
I mean, I was the director of the Wrong Way video from Sublime.
Yeah, I'm used to this.
It's okay.
I made you want some pee on somebody? I've directed some of the best porn sequels of all time. I can get somebody peed on around here.
Do you know how much pee was on the set of Zoot Suit Riot?
Yeah, so much. Those guys are fucking gross. And kids went to high school proms dressed in zoot suits because of them.
That's another thing too. Is like he goes, man, I had a far worse war crimes committed in the '90s than this movie for sure.
You think this is bad?
You should saw what I did to teens everywhere across the country.
No. You should have seen what Linkin Park did to children. I don't know. They probably didn't do anything bad to kids.
No, it was probably
it gave them a bad taste in music. Other than that,
whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, you went to school with Fred Durst.
I sure did. Same high school. He was a couple years before me, but same high school.
You keep adding a little more distance in there, buddy.
Yeah, I got to. Especially if he gets if he pulls a Kid Rock and decides to go into politics.
Yeah, maybe.
Like Glenn Jacobs.
We bring it back around. Searching for it right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Like Glenn Jacob Goodnight.
Anything more to say about this movie?
Go watch it.
Yeah.
Pay the $2. I got paid $2.99. It was worth it.
Yeah, I think I paid like $2.99. No, I ended up paying like $1 because since joining Voodoo, I got the discount off. So it cost me like $1.08 to watch this. So
that's just a little bit more than Freedom costs.
Which actually, it was free on one app about a week ago, but then it switched over to October, and I was like, I should have watched it last week when it was free. But
it was worth it.
It's worth it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna argue with it. Not mad at it. So go out and do it. Makes it just part of our whole Halloween thing. So, anyways, anything you let people know about? This will be, this is gonna be like pretty late in October. I should have looked up exactly when it is, but it's.
I think I have an idea.
Yeah, it's not next Thursday, and it's not the Thursday after that. It's that
the 25th. I guess that'd be.
That'd be that.
This weekend I'll be at Spooky Empire. So will you. We'll be at Spooky Empire in Orlando, Florida as part of the Spooky Empire Horror Convention. Wrestling for FSCW that we do our cosplay wrestling for.
Yes.
I will be Leatherface.
Okay. I will be doing something fun and probably getting murdered. So just let you know. I'm not exactly sure what I'll be doing, but they have a role for me somewhere, some way, somehow. And
also you can tune in every Monday to Extra Talented Wrestling Podcast. The USS Trader.
You son of a bitch. The USS Trader, is that where Lex Luger body slammed Yokozuna?
It is.
Okay.
It is. They're still there.
Okay.
We buried Yokozuna under that fucking ship. You know that. You're talking about him on 10 Bell Pod a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Actually, no. It would be a couple weeks.
Yeah. I thought about that.
We're in a big time loop right now. But
Time Lords.
But if you want to basically be a trader to your friend and start your own podcast, and you're looking for some help with that, make sure you get up with my buddy Don, who produces this podcast at sixsquirrelstudio.com. Don will help you out. And if you have any crazy demands like Nick does on 10 Bell Pod, he will most certainly meet all of them. Don just quit his job, his regular day job. He's now doing podcasts full time. So
because Jake and 10 Bell Pod is causing him so much work.
Exactly. He's like, I can't do a regular job because because of the demands of Nicholas Alexander on 10 Bell Pod. I have to quit my job. So please go support him. If you want to start your own podcast, he'll put it on multiple different platforms. Now, also, too, with me, make sure you follow me at Manscout Manning on Twitter and Instagram. There is not an Instagram or Twitter for this show because I want you to follow me, all right? I don't want you to follow my show account. I want all the likes, all the Twitters. Fuck my co-host because they will just leave me anyways, much like most of my girlfriends will. Anyways, as a reminder, make sure you go to howdidthisgetbooked.com. Also, too, we're still doing the reviews thing, which I forgot to look up the review thing. Forgot the names. I will do that probably between podcasts.
There you go.
To be honest, I forgot to do that. I don't think much has changed. There might be a new reviewer somewhere somehow, but I don't think that's true.
No, I think there was because the guy put it on the Twitter.
Yes.
To us. So.
Yes, but we're still giving out the T-shirt. I should have done it at the beginning of the show. Forgot it.
But at this point, we'll have said his name because we'll do it on the next podcast we record tonight, which comes before this one. Exactly. So you'll have been said by then.
Oh, exactly. Well,
so if between 2 weeks ago from hearing this and today you did one, we'll get you next time.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. So basically, actually, here's the thing. There's not going to be a review that comes in between the two podcasts.
There you go.
So whoever I said last week as the review, same person.
Yeah.
And like I said, we are still giving away a free T-shirt. Like I said, I normally make that a priority, but we just got into a conversation. I forgot to mention it. If you leave a review on iTunes or Stitcher, I will send you a free T-shirt, a free How Did This Get Booked T-shirt. If you DM me your address and shirt size on @ManscoutManning or @ManscoutManning on Instagram. Just give me a follow. That's how you can DM me. A lot of people don't want to follow. They're like, "How I can't DM you?" Well, you have to follow me. You have
sorry,
to follow
motherfucker. You got to give out some of your follows.
I'm sorry. I'm a good follow.
This isn't Tinder. You don't get limited follows here.
But please do subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube, and wherever podcasts are available. This has been another edition of How Did This Get Booked?
Woo.